I'm going to set the stage a little bit. You know, a few weeks ago I started talking with Vic actually about, you know, how we would talk, you know, what we should discuss at our all-school meeting. And we were originally thinking that it would be good to have a visualization where you picture your child or children when they're about 30 years old. And who do you want them to be? What do you wish for them? What do you wish for them? Do you wish that they had the job that they love? Do you wish that they had a relationship that is fulfilling and loving? Do you wish that they had friendships that they could rely on and knew how to work through the conflicts that inevitably found in relationships? Do you wish that their body is healthy, they're still working well? Thinking about when we vision where we want to go and are clear on that, then the little decisions we make along the way lead in that direction. And without visioning that, we can get caught in the day-to-day and what's expedient and, you know, well, we have to just hurry through this and then not make the decisions that will end up where we want our children to be. It would take weeks to talk through all the things of what we want for our children. I was just tonight just thinking about a few. You know, I want for my child, I want him to be joyful and have a zest for life when he's 30 and when he's 60. And what am I doing to prepare him for that? I want him to be flexible, be able to deal with change, and be able to manage crisis without it taking him down. And to have that resiliency and that flexibility to deal with different things. I want him to be creative, to know what his passions are, and to have the ways to express that. I want him to know himself, to know how to listen inside himself, and be true to his particular beingness. And I want him to have a group of friends, and to be teachable, and be able to work in groups, and be, I want him, whatever work he tends to do in life, I want people to be like, he's fabulous, yeah, move him to, you know, let him have the opportunities, because he's great to work with. So there's lots of, and there are more areas that you could be thinking about. But tonight, what we're going to focus on, and we'll do different meetings on different topics, is what are the pieces we need to put in place so that our children develop the skills, so that they have social sense, so they know how to be in a group, how to work in a situation with a group of people, how to be teachable. What are those pieces? And as we on the staff and some parents have been talking about this over the last few weeks, came up with a couple things that I want you to keep in mind as we're going to be talking in small groups about this. And the first is something that maybe it isn't so apparent until you think about it. But one of the skills children need to learn, adults need to learn, is that we behave differently in different environments. And there's a whole separate set of skills and rules for different environments. So if you're in an elevator, the rules are different than if you're in a gymnasium. If you're in a church, the rules are different than if you're in a restaurant. That they have to adjust. And we see all the time adults and kids who haven't figured that out. So they go into the bus and they're behaving in a way where you go, that's infringing on other people's rights. But the way they're behaving would have been fine in some other setting on the playground. So understanding that there's a whole set of understandings we have to teach. The second piece that we were really thinking about is, and this is not always so apparent for parents and teachers, is that as parents, we have two separate hats that we have to wear at different times, and you got to know when to wear which one. I spend a lot of time in the Midwest. I go there about every 6 weeks, and I'm amazed at the difference I see in parenting skills there than what I see here. There are wonderful things to say about their skills, and there are wonderful things to say about our Santa Cruz skills, but they're really different a lot of the time. In the Midwest, I see a lot of parents coaching their children about manners, about politeness, and look her in the eye. Did you say thank you? Did you put your cup away when you do that? Did you remember to thank your teacher? I hear lots of coaching of the kids, and consequences if they're not following those rules. In Santa Cruz, I hear lots of people doing the skills of empowerment and conflict resolution, how to negotiate, how to talk out problems, but the amount of coaching on the absolute skills of being in community, I hear very little. It's amazing to me every time I do that transition. And I think we're in a, we're in a society, so we think, well, compared to the people around us, we're doing a lot, but if you move yourself into a different setting, you see that there are many ways to raise children. Oftentimes, both teachers and parents get confused and use conflict resolution at a time when instead it should be discipline, or use discipline when it should be conflict resolution. And knowing that it's different. When kids come in my office and they've had a conflict, they've been had a problem together, I use conflict resolution. I have them talk it out so that they're not angry anymore at each other. So that they have resolved it and they forgive each other so they don't go back out and get mad at each other again. But then I stop and say, now we have another issue. There's a school rule that everybody gets to be safe here. Nobody gets called names and nobody gets hit. And you broke that rule. So now we have to have a consequence. And then I give them a consequence. You will now not have recess for several months, or you will this or that. So they understand that's not negotiable. That's not, because you said, oh, I'm sorry and I didn't mean it, it's over with. Because in my early years of teaching, I realized that when I would let the kids just talk their way through a time when they weren't following the rules and say, I'm so sorry and I didn't mean to, and okay, if I let them do that, they learned to be manipulative. They learned if I speak nicely enough to Linda, she'll let them, and they got worse and worse behaved. These are two different things, and so holding that in your head. That, is this a time for discipline? Then that's what needs to happen, just calmly. There's a consequence. And lastly, before I do a discussion, we in the staff have been talking about, well, what are our expectations? What do we want at our school? What do we expect from the kids? And we realized, oh, we may have not articulated that to all the parents. We want a whole, our community as a whole to work with this. School is a different environment than an elevator, than your home, than the movie theater. School is a learning environment, and there's certain rules that we hold. These are the expectations we have of the children. And the first one is, when an adult speaks to a child, the child should stop, they should look at them with respect, and they should politely do what they were asked. Now, a number of years ago, when I started training parents on this, we had all the parents practice saying, if the kids would go like, just, they would go like that when you're talking to them, they'd walk right by, or they don't say something, stop, and you go. The rule at our school is, when an adult asks you to do something, you need to politely do what they said. Can you do that? So let's all try that once with the person across from you. Okay? The rule in our school Okay, so when an adult asks a child to do something, they should stop and they should do it. And that's not just, you see it says adult, it doesn't say teacher only. It's any adult that's on the campus. Our campus is a safe campus. I know my office is right by the door. We don't let strangers come and tell the kids what to do. So kids need to know, at our school, when an adult tells you to do something, you politely do what they say the first time. Okay, second one. Say please, say thank you, and say hello when you see people. So what does that look like? At the morning when I greet children, for several months, kids go like this and they try to walk right by. Well, over the months now, they pretty much all either shake hands or and they for a couple months they all would look at my eyes because I tell them they have to look at my eyes. But what does a real greeting look like? It's like, hi, how are you? How's your day, Linda? Just recently, a whole group of kids have started actually greeting me, like saying, hi, Linda, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh! They're actually seeing me. That's what we're expecting. And not just me as they greet me, but as they walk around campus and they see people. If someone walks up and says hi, many of our children go like this. Right. What do we want them to do? Could you please practice with the person across from you? What we would like our children to do when they see someone on campus? Yes. We are a community. There are only 6 teachers. There are 150 children. Every member of this community is given permission to help guide every child in this community to be the best that they can be. Next expectation. In class, or when somebody is teaching something, or outside when they're teaching something, kids are sitting up. They're looking at the speaker. There are some schools in which they teach all the kids to do nodding while they're doing it. We know actually that test scores raise when kids nod. It helps your brain to stay focused. We're not teaching them to nod. Now, you might want to give that hint to your child. But we expect them to be sitting up, to be looking, to be quiet, and to stay listening until the directions are done. So does that look like I'm halfway through giving the directions and the kids are raising their hand? No, it's listening till we're done.